I got
Such a
this.
fat ass.
Count me down.
Oh, I started.
Oh, come on! I never did the countdown.
Impro.
Hey, bro. This is improv.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Just like that.
I'm sorry. I wasn't ready.
Wait, is it
so
still
we
rolling?
started. Oh, we're cooked. This intro was terrible.
Oh, it started.
Worst case scenario, he'll just cut this part out. I'm gonna start right now. Alright, so we're back. Last time you saw us, we finished season 1. So it's only natural that we moved to season 2. And that's exactly what we did. But what we didn't tell you is there was a movie. Not just any movie. A winter movie. Some will say a Rizzy winter movie. Anyways, yeah, we watched the first 10 episodes, right? I assume. I hope so.
Plus the movie.
First 10 episodes plus season 2 movie. Or as I like to say, episode 26.75.
Oh, fuck.
You know,
No.
episode 26.75. But I guess, like we did last time, we'll just start off with the ratings. And why?
No.
As I get assaulted by strawberries?
For me, so far, it's like a good like 8 out of 10. I think so far season 1 is better. But we
Guys, I
just
didn't make it to
start-
the finish line.
Oh, come on, Gino.
Rookie mistake.
Eliminated.
What?
Gio brought us down!
Okay. No, okay. Lock in. Okay. For me, I think I agree with Mario. This first half of season 2 is a little. It's a little slower than season 1. But it's okay. I think like a low 8.
Yeah, like a
Objection!
We are learning more. We're learning way more. More characters like intentions or like maybe more we didn't know about them is getting revealed. But it's a little slower. Some moments are kind of fucked, but I like it. I think
I
it's a low
completely
8 so
disagree.
far. Oh.
I completely disagree. I like this way better than... Why am I still in this match?
You have to
What?
leave.
Anyways.
Oh, respect.
Anyways, I thought completely opposite. I like this way better than season 1. I thought it was 10 times better than season 1. I actually didn't feel bored. I felt like it was a great combination of lore, action, chill moments, sweet moments. I thought it was amazing. Like, I was able to watch a majority of it today, and I didn't really feel burnt out. I was like, I
Oh,
could
no,
easily keep watching.
I
I could easily watch like 3 or 4 more and still be okay. I also don't know if we just picked 10 because it was like the halfway mark, but I thought 10 was a perfect place to stop.
It was.
It was like right before major events, and like, but just enough to get like, not like leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So I'd give like an 8.8, 9. I really like
Edgar.
this first half.
Edgar.
Not including the movie. Not including the movie.
Not including.
Alright, so if we're not including the movie, I think, yeah, like you guys are saying, I think it's just a little slow pace. New information is revealed, kind of like that, but I don't know. I gave it a 7. I think for now it's like a little, a high 7,
High
high
7.
7, low 8, high 7, low 8.
Well, I guess we should start with the movie, no? Because I think that's easily the weakest part of,
Yeah.
or like.
I liked the movie. I think it was okay.
So the movie
It
just
gave a lot of
basically, like,
lore
goes
about Little
into
Bros.
the backstory of like a younger Amelia, right? Like
Yeah.
how like Puck was kind of like made to like defend her, of like how like. What else do we learn about how she was treated like with the villagers when she lived in the forest? Something about like another spirit wanting to kill her. But the reason I think this was the worst part is because like I felt like it could have been like 20 minutes long, and because we already knew that people were scared of Amelia. We already knew that like I feel like a lot of it we already knew. I don't know. I feel like they could have just included like the fact that Amelia like I think she's the one who froze the elves. Oh, and
was
also
gonna say,
the
you kinda
fucking elves
infer.
are
Yeah.
the elves are fucking like frozen. But I don't know. I think they could have made it shorter.
I mean, I agree. I think it could have been shorter. You know, I don't think it needed to be an hour and a half. But I think it got the point across. Because I feel like ending season 1, you didn't know anything about Subaru. You didn't know anything about Amelia. You didn't know anything about all of them. You kind of just knew like the general, like, oh, Subaru came from normal place and now he's in this magical place. Amelia was in the forest and then she ended up at Roswell Mansion. That's about it. So that's the one thing I kind of didn't like about season 1, where it was like kind of like a lack of anything, which. Like I said, this season was
I feel
very
like I
heavy
got-
lore on like backstory.
I feel like I got more questions now. Like, is Amelia a witch? I'm thinking she is.
Well, I'm assuming all elves are like tied to witches.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like-
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
so
it's
anymore.
kind
I
of
used to
like-
think that as well, but I don't know anymore.
I
Because they
think
said
it's
she's
kind
half
of more
elf,
like a
half
race.
demon. Isn't that the reason that the other fucking fire spirit wanted to kill her? Because he called her a half demon instead of a half elf.
Well,
I
I think in this world, elves are like tied to demons.
are they? I don't fucking
I
know,
just
bro.
feel like I think in the world, it's more of like if you're
What
not
are they-
like pure
what are we
blood
supposed
and
to
like you're like half
Collect
blood or half
some-
something, like even that we saw later on in the village, like you're kind of looked at as like unpure, like weird, like you're just looked at as unnormal because
Yeah.
technically you are, you know, you're not like one thing, you're like a mixture of 3 different things. And I think they kind of seal it as like, oh, you're different, you know, you're scary, you're different than us, we don't trust you, you know. It's kind of just more of like I think just they're scared because they're not like them.
They're not
You
like
know?
us. I don't know. I feel like,
And I think-
I left with more questions than like.
Well,
if
my
it
whole
was
thing is I think
Amelia
the same
one
thing
who froze The
too.
village is
Well, I
why
think
was she
that's-
the one that got frozen? I mean,
I
that
think
got
it is clear
unfrozen.
that she froze it.
I think it is clear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think at
something
the end of the
different
day,
about her that like allows her to get unfrozen.
She's the witch.
Like,
But
is
I don't
she
know,
the
like,
witch?
I mean, the least like towards the end of the where we finished watching, it's kind of inferred that they're connected somehow because
They're
of how she's like chanting, "I love you, I love you, I love you," and he's like, "Boy, who is this?" You know?
yeah.
My
think it's
favorite part of
inferred.
my favorite part of the movie was when she's trying to go save Puck, and did we
She
get
goes
a
Ultra
we got murked.
Yeah.
And when he's trying to save Puck, and then she like encounters a fire demon, or whatever the fuck it was, and then he's like, "I had to kill you because you're like a half elf and you like look like the witch." She's like, "Why can't anyone just look at me as Amelia or like?" She says something like that. I think that was my favorite part of the movie.
The one thing I did put about that is how past Amelia and Subaru are like exactly the same. Like not exactly the same, but their actions are literally similar.
Like,
And I think the
similar-
phrase that I wrote down was when Puck was like, hold up, I don't have it ready, so give me 2 seconds. I was like, Puck goes and says, "You're always putting yourself at danger for the sake of someone else." But that's like the exact same thing that she gets mad at Subaru for.
Subaru
Like,
for,
why are
yeah.
you always falling? Why are you trying to save me when I don't need to save? And I was like, that's crazy because in the past, it was just vice versa with her and Puck.
I think even now she's kind of still the same.
And I feel like the reason she's like that is kind of like, it's like the same thing. Is like she's been through it, she's experienced it, she knows the pros and cons, so she doesn't want someone else doing it because she knows how dangerous or tragic it could be. So it kind of feels like she doesn't like him doing it because she kind of sees it in herself.
We also know now that Puck broke a contract or an oath with someone that he
had
wasn't
some
supposed to.
sort of contract.
He had some sort of contract that he wasn't supposed to get too close to Amelia.
Someone sent him.
Someone sent him to take care of Amelia, but he broke the contract because he got involved in her life too much. So there's also that. We now know that someone wants Amelia to live at least, and something tells me that they might be connected to whoever wants Subaru to live. That's just a random guess. I don't fucking know, but someone wants both to live.
I think it's, in my opinion, from what I've watched of season 2 in the movie, I think it's the past witches. Because looking at the past witches, they didn't
They're,
seem like
very
bad people.
familiar with him.
they're like not
Yeah.
bad people. Like
He's
all the
like that
witches,
kid one who like kind of like
yeah,
broke him
except for
down.
like before like besides the Witch of Envy, all of them seem like they're more of like lawful evil, you know? Like they're evil, but like in a sense of like pointing someone in the right direction or like doing something for like a deeper meaning.
No way.
No.
We're gonna get eliminated again.
You know?
Alright, well, does anyone else want to say something about the movie?
I like the fire guy. Like his design.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
I
horse was
agree.
dope as yeah, I agree.
I am the mediator.
Oh yeah, like the fucking the judger or some shit. Like he doesn't care about feelings. He just
Yeah.
judges what is.
Yeah, I think it was just cool character design. Like I might
Ah.
not agree with him, but like he's cool.
I mean, can you really disagree with him?
I guess
You can kind of see where he's
don't
coming
know.
from. Though the witches do put the world at evil, and she has witch
I
blood,
feel like
and
it's
she
kinda
looks
like one of
exactly like
those-
the witch.
I feel like it's kind of like one of those stories where it's like a certain like group of individuals like are all exactly the same, and then the one person who feels like they're different and they want to change and act differently, but because of everyone else's perspective on them, they're just like automatically just counted out. And that's exactly like that. But one random thought, completely random, I was like, why doesn't Amelia just dye her hair? That's crazy. Probably for an actual
See,
better reason. But what I was thinking, she's like, you look
See, this
exactly
is-
like her.
This is why I
I
like
was like-
having big fear. That would have never even crossed my mind. That
Well, 'cause my
would've
whole
never
thing is that
crossed
she's
my
like-
mind as a
she's like,
solution.
Oh, just because I have silver hair and purple eyes, I'm automatically witch. I was like, what if she low key like dyed her hair or put a wig on? Then they're like, oh, it's just a coincidence that you have eyes, but your hair
Guys,
is blue,
I died.
so no idea. You know, it's like
Oh,
so it's like that's what I was also blowing my head.
They just like don't have
What if she
eyes.
just
What if she just like
True.
dyed it red?
They,
yeah?
like don't have.
Because my whole
eyes.
thing is like
I mean, you can
She
take some
uses the
berries and
cloak.
crush them up.
yeah. Because my thing is that she uses the cloak, and the cloak, I mean, it worked, but it didn't really see like
No, yeah, you know, like you gotta be blind to not know.
But
Yeah,
this
that
is,
sounds like-
magic. So
Should we go
Why
to the
didn't
next episode?
the first episode,
Yeah,
26,
the
25,
Episode
They said when?
26 now, actually.
1924.
So, it starts off with Amelia forgetting about Rem again. And then
That was
they-
a shocker.
yeah, and then they
I was
like
like, what the
fucking-
hell?
They show that Amelia and Crush's carriage was attacked by, I think his name is Regulus? I think his name is Regulus, I think. And we also find out that the white whale isn't the fucking the Gluttony Archbishop. It's a fucking pet.
Pat.
It was a pet of the Archbishop. So they went through all of that just. Did we get eliminated
You
again?
got eliminated again.
Yeah.
they went through all that. They went through all that just to beat the pet of the Archbishop. I think Crush only got her memories eaten, right? Crush? What was
Yeah.
her
Yeah,
name?
she's only
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
But
got dementia.
Amelia got both. No, not
No,
Amelia.
no, Rem.
Rem got her name and her memories, so no one remembers. And now we also find out how that works. That they can either eat your name or your memories, but depending on what they, like, why did she get
Or
both eaten
both.
and Crush only got one?
So
That was
I
one
think
question.
because Rem mentions her name at one point. I don't think Cruz ever mentions her name. So like the guy.
Maybe
little
that's
guy?
actually a good point. I don't know if that was.
Cruz kind of just got like her hand like chopped off at the beginning, and then like Rem
Yeah,
really,
I
like,
think
get in
Rem
there.
got like murked, like straight up just killed.
Yeah, and then Subaru finds out and he tries suiciding himself, suiciding.
Suicide.
And his checkpoint is in the carriage, so it's while that's happening.
Yeah, so he
I
can't-
thought this episode was good, but it's sad. Because I feel like we saw this a lot, like in the past episodes. Every time he thinks he gets something right, there's always something that
Mhm.
fucks it up. And I was also thinking, even if Rem does wake up, somehow, she's not gonna remember who she is or like how important she was to him or how important he was to her. I don't know. That's what I thought when I watched this. Was like, damn, like even if she does somehow wake up,
Yeah,
it's gonna be kind of like
I'm assuming if you kill Gluttony, like all his effects get like reversed. I'm assuming because
Yeah. It's like same thing with the whale. When you kill the whale, then everyone like got the memory back. So I'm assuming it's
Did
just
they?
vice versa for him. Did they? Or am I
I
just
don't think they
tripping?
did. I
No,
don't
thought it
they
was
were
a
they
The
were
pet.
only
gone.
reason they knew they lost the people was because they had like physical counts. They didn't remember who they were.
Yeah, but that was like a pet though, so
Yeah.
maybe killing him doesn't like reverse the effects.
Maybe, but I don't know. That's what I was thinking as well. So, what do you guys want to say on it?
I don't know. I think it was a solid episode. You know, definitely a turn. Wasn't expecting it. You
Who
know,
the
you would
fuck
think
up?
that you would think that you would think that after the end, where it's like, oh my god, she got forgotten, or oh my god, she just got killed. Oh my god, like she's finally alive now, and that's like, who? Like,
Yeah.
what the wait, what? I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I had to go back and make sure I was like on the right episode. I was like, wait a minute, I thought she was okay now. What do you mean she's not? She's not here. She's not existent.
Edgar, you're
So-
still spectating. Though I
I
also like
actually-
that. Yeah, you're still spectating. I also like that the end. I thought him breaking down in mood kind of like cute. I was like, oh, but isn't that kind of like ballsy as well? Like, imagine crying in front of like no. Okay, so imagine how am I trying to say this? He was crying about another girl in front of the girl he said he loved. I was just like, that's kind of ballsy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I was thinking during. That's what I was thinking while he was crying. Do you guys want to move on to the next one? I feel like that one was like the only thing that happened, unless you guys want to say something.
Felix.
I'll just say I like the designs of the new like archbishops.
Oh yeah, and like we
Felix.
didn't even talk on she just forgot everything and like even they also tried to dissolve the alliance. Felix did. I forgot. Wait, was it this episode or was it?
That was the
No.
next one.
I think it's the
Are
next
you
one.
sure? Maybe it is the next one.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's kind of
I
hard
think
now
it-
that the episodes are very shorter now because
Yeah.
Whoa, it just died. I think it was this episode that Felix tries to dissolve the alliance, and both Wilhelm and Crush just disagree.
yeah.
And then I was also like, even though she forgot her memories, like part of her character still like stayed the same. So I thought that was
That
kinda
personality is still kind of there.
Cool. I guess like
I think it's just
no, because she's
memories
kind of
that
different
die.
personality. Kind of like
It's kind of like
she's softer.
she
now.
started back from zero.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
It's like if her like not her ideals, like her morals are still the same, I guess.
Or I
It's
think
kind of like she just lost her
experience.
memory.
I think experience, because she's like not like battle hardened anymore. She's just like
Yeah, she's a lot softer. And even Felix, that's the new side. Should I go on to episode 27?
She hasn't been tainted by the
the
ideals of war.
Episode 27, it starts off with, I think they leave the mansion, and when they get there, they're greeted by I think it's the spiky teeth one, no?
Yeah,
And she tells them that
Federica.
Roswell, Federica,
Yeah.
that's her name. She tells them that
Federico!
Roswell hasn't shown up and that they're still at the sanctuary. Subaru then goes on to talk to Beatrice. This part kind of threw me off. She seemed to know who Betelgeuse was, because when he said that Betelgeuse was dead and she showed him the gospel, she seemed kind of like
Yeah.
upset.
Well, we kind of figure out why later, though.
She seemed kind of upset, and she also said that like she also called him a nickname. I think did she call him Geese or she called him like a nickname or some shit. So I think it's kind of it's obvious that she knew who Betelgeuse was, and then she gets mad at Subaru because she says that she only uses him for like a tool of his convenience or some shit, which is kind of true. He doesn't talk to Beatrice unless he needs
Biggie
something.
just bit the curb 4K.
And then how does this episode end?
I think they get to
He takes the necklace from Amelia and then like
he
They go to the sanctuary.
he teleports and meets or like he goes where Echidna is.
Yeah.
I just said that this still raises more questions on Beatrice, like more than like I had before. and she has connections to the witch's cult. But at this point, I don't think anyone doesn't.
Yeah,
That for
it
for
was-
things that happen further in the future. But at this point, I think everyone's connected. You guys want to say anything about this one?
the f- I think the
I
funniest
think this
part-
episode was still kind of slow.
I think the best part was when he gets to the mansion and then he says like, "Whoa, look at those chompers." I was laughing for a
to,
minute straight after that.
to Frederica.
Yeah. That's what I remember most about this episode.
That's the only thing you took from this.
Yeah,
Iggy.
and that Rom and her be beefing.
Are they beefing? I think it's like
It's like
I think
playful.
that's just the way they get along. I just think that's the way they get along. I think
I
that
don't know,
was
but
it
I
for
think
this
the
one.
next. I think. Where does the next episode pick off?
The
'Cause
next
there's
episode,
one-
he meets Echidna, and then she like talks to him about the other witches and like the sin they committed, and he starts like
Yeah.
tweaking.
That's another thing I was gonna say is that it's very obvious that she looks very similar to Amelia because they're both witches slash elves, whatever you want to call it. But like that's where like I started like to believe that the witches weren't technically all evil because like I said, I kind of feel like it's a lawful evil because yeah, she's kind of teasing him, not really giving me answers, but at the end of the day, you can see that she kind of like does kind of like put her ideals to kind of helping them even if he has like to work for it, you know.
Yeah, she's like giving him clues as they're talking. And like not like outright like denying his questions.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like she's making it to where she's basically just kind of being more stubborn about it, but she's like doing it as like out of like goodwill, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why when we see the other ones, that we see that they're not all really like that bad of people, you know. That's why I feel like I just got straight booted.
I can't get up this fucking mountain.
No.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like at the end of the day, I wonder if it was like all of them were like buddies, and then like the witch of envy like kind of got outcasted, and then she decided like, you know what, at this point I'm just gonna kill all of you. Because I don't know, they talk about each other pretty fine. Like, you know, when he does meet the second one, the younger one, what is it? I forgot. The one that he eventually
She was
turned into like the
proud, right? I think she
She was
Yeah.
fine.
like she talks good about her. It's like, but like I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's a little crazy. You know, here's a couple warnings, but overall, she'll lead you in the right direction. So obviously they get along with each other. That's why I'm saying I think the only one that something must have happened with the Witch of Envy and the other ones to like them to go like separate opposite ways. And I just think at that point it's just like unfortunate that like one particular being managed to like set a bad name for like an entire race that eventually like led them to like the entire world hating them.
I still don't know how I feel about them. But well, after he meets with Echidna, he gets teleported back, and like he forgets the meeting ever happened, and then he has a conversation with Roswell that like, this is where you're first beginning to suspect where like he has a connection to the witch because he corrects Amina. She's like, don't call her the Witch of Greed, call her name, and then like his family had been the one who safeguarding the fucking
Sanctuary.
her tomb for a couple years, and then I think the episode ends with him and Amelia going to the trial. Is that it? Holy shit! It ends with them going to the trial, right?
Yeah, but this next part is something that like I think this episode begins where he gets like kind of transported to like this figmented like alternate like slightly tweaked version of his memories.
All right, okay. Before we get there, I want to talk about some things they brought up. So, is Subaru the new sloth bishop?
Yeah, Echidna
'Cause
confirms this. saying
Echidna told him that you're the new sloth, whatever factor. No,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
factor.
that, yes.
he said something that like Subaru was now that the sloth factor had like inhabited him, and that's the reason that he was even able to hold a tea party with her. No, I think it
Yeah.
was some shit like that. But
I
does
think
that
it's
confirm?
more of like if you kill someone, you take their place. Like it's
Is-
not
is it that
something. It's
simple?
not something or a role that like disappears. Because I
they
feel
were
like it would
calling
be
Subaru
easy.
slothful, like, and they made sure to emphasize it a lot. Like they were saying you're slothful. So I thought that maybe you had to like be the sin or like whatever they said. And
I
also,
think it's kind of like more if you read the requirements and you eventually kill them because I feel like at that point it'd be too easy because then why don't you just go kill all the archbishops and like call it a day? But like if they're able to like be reborn slash reincarnated as like a different person or be passed on to a different person, then it kind of makes it like makes the cult a little bit more dangerous. Because I have to say that like they're pushovers, but Sloth was hard to beat, but he wasn't like
it wasn't
completely
impossible.
hard.
I
Yeah,
think the
like
big thing was he could change bodies. So I think it was just one
yeah.
Yeah.
sloth bishop, and it just came like the bodies he was able to like pick up.
I don't know, but that basically confirmed
I don't know, but I
that-
kind of feel like if it were to happen, that one makes the most sense because like technically, if you think about it, Subaru kind of like is reborn in like multiple times, like basically the same body, but like just alternate timelines. So I feel like if any of them were gonna fit, it would be that one.
Sloth.
Because essentially he's being reborn into a different version of himself
Yeah.
every time he dies.
I also have one more point to bring up. How much money to drink a kidney's tea?
Nah, bro, that's some devious tea right there, bro.
How
That's some
much money?
Diddy tea. Diddy juice.
I think it really does depend on what fluid that we're talking about.
How much money?
I think it is what fluid comes.
All I'm saying is you don't gotta pay me.
Whoa,
That's crazy.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm dead.
But that's just one thing that came up to me. I was like, how much would you have to pay me to fuck you? Oh my god, what's that one little girl from Monsters Inc? She just held me off the edge. Boo, oh my god.
Oh, I just banged my head.
My train of thought just got completely side. What were we talking about? A kid that's fluids. How much to drink it?
Whoa.
It depends what fluid it is.
Not
What
that
fluid
much,
could it
Loki.
be? What? Not. What other fluid could it be? Let's be honest. We all know what fluid it is. So what does she make the crackers out of? Because she says they also come from. What that happens later. Should we just go on to the next episode? I don't know why I asked this question. I don't know why I asked this
Anyways, like I said, the one thing that I didn't think about was, and like I'm surprised he low-key didn't really think about it, or maybe he was thinking about it, but like we just didn't really see it. Was that like he got teleported to a new world, started dying, figured out this power, and this entire time didn't mention his parents once. Like I would think that like when you first get transferred, you would think to yourself, "Oh my god, I just left everything and everyone behind." But
To
not
be
once
fair-
did he mention his parents, and I low-key kind of forgot until I was like, "Oh yeah, like he had a family. Like he was still like a teenager. Like
Well,
he left his family
that
and
goes on to
everything
the
behind."
next episode. That just revolves around him meeting and talking with his parents. As you said, it was like a dreamlike state, right? It was like it wasn't real. It was like a fake reality. And we also learned part of the reason why Subaru is the way he is, why he just cracks so many jokes. It's because he kind of felt like he had to get attention. This episode really, huh?
I was gonna say, I just thought he did it because his dad was also like that.
Because I think his dad, he was always getting compared to his dad, and then when he just couldn't live up to the expectations anymore, he still wanted to be like seen or recognized. So he started like cracking jokes or doing things that no one else would do and stuff like that. But this episode was mainly just him like making up with his parents, or like at least in his mind, reconciling with them, even though they weren't the real ones. And back to what you were saying, Figgy. To be fair, if you were transported to a world and your life was kind of shitty, you're probably excited at first. And then imagine the next thing that happens to you is like you get your guts ripped out. I feel like you don't have that much time to be worrying about.
He
About
didn't
other
have
people.
much time to, like,
Yeah, I feel like you don't got. I feel like if it was like his life was amazing and he didn't think about his parents, then you can kind of bring it up.
Yeah,
but the fact
but
that
it's
he like
never
got his
that-
guts ripped out in this.
It was never that he really hated his parents. It was just more of that he just never understood that why they were so like essentially good to him because like the sudden thing he's wondering like why won't you guys yell at me? Why won't you
he
guys
did
tell
say,
me that I'm a
he
loser?
wanted
Why
he
like
wanted them to get mad at him so he would feel like justified or like some shit or so he would give up. Didn't
Push or something. Like,
huh?
He wanted like a reason to be how he is.
Yeah, to give him a reason, like an excuse to be the way he is.
that's what I'm saying. Like they weren't essentially bad people.
They
know?
were well, no, what they were far. They were probably the best parents you could ask for.
They were
Exactly.
fucked.
Yeah.
They were they.
But I feel like it
they
is
were
something
nice
that,
to a
like,
fault.
I feel like well like at the same time it kind of is like having to live up to the expectations of like a shadow that's very huge, you know? Because like imagine like every single time everyone's like, oh my god, you know this your dad, your father, he's like perfect person, you know, amazing, you know, you're just like him, and then you're just like, well, at that point, if I'm just like him, I kind of have to go like above and beyond because if not, then everyone will be like, oh, you're a loser, you know, why can't you be like your dad? You know, your dad's such an amazing person, you know, all this and that, you know.
You think
What I think I
So-
like about it is that even at the end, we find out that a lot of his like ideas were like kind of like just not true. Because wasn't there like a thing where oh my god, I'm taking the eggs out of the wrong team? there was a thing where like where like they said like his mom said like just be Natsuki Subaru and then figure out what half you want or some shit like that. Didn't she say something like that?
She was like, if you end up being half the man your dad is, then
Make
that's
the
good
other half
enough
be
because you're
Natsuki
half me,
Subaru.
you're half you.
Yeah, she said something like that.
Which
I'm not
in
gonna
that
lie.
moment, I thought to myself, technically that means you'd be 25% because like
Yeah.
if you're half you, you'd be 25% your mom, 25%.
Oh my
But
god.
technically, you don't have to be a quarter of what your dad is, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, I love this episode. I thought it was really. I
I thought the art style was pretty cool too. Like it had like that nice outline when they were walking around the park. It was pretty nice. I think it was pretty beautiful.
I fucking love his mom. She is fucking hilarious. Like when she was trying to give like a meaningful like
Piece.
speech, she was like, by the way, I like.
Same thing with the dad. Straight
Oh
up
yeah,
just
no, bro. Like,
banged his head. 41 eggs is crazy. I just like to say that.
what are we supposed to do?
Collect
Oh my
eggs.
god, guys! I thought we were supposed to get the least amount of eggs in our basket.
Oh my god,
I've been throwing them
Sellington,
out.
Selly.
I've been throwing them out. Fuck.
Gio's a
What was I
seller.
saying? Oh yeah, like I thought his parents, they like, it hurts more now because like you saw how good of a family they were. Even if Subaru wasn't like they never questioned anything he did. They never.
Yeah, but at the same
judged him
time,
or
there's
anything.
nothing from telling that technically the events of ReZero don't alter. Like, let's just say like the events of ReZero might take place over a span of 2 years, but in the real world, it's like a day. You know?
What do you mean?
So technically, like,
So like it's
we
been a
don't
day
know.
since he's been gone.
Yeah, like I said, like I don't know. I feel like an ideal ending is he has a happy ending, and then like he wakes up and it's just like been one day in the real world. Because I feel like if
I'm
not-
telling you right now, if that's the ending, I'm gonna be pissed. I hate.
Well, my
those
whole
dream
thing is
endings.
that don't you think in the real world, like, they would notice like, hey, yo, my kid's been gone for like, we lost Edgar. Don't you think they'd be like, dang, my kid's been gone for like a week. Let's go find him. You know, he's
What
probably
difference
dead.
does it do? They probably are looking for him.
They probably
You do you not think they are?
But imagine he comes back somehow and like 3 years later, like you know how like crazy that'd be.
I don't think he's coming back. That's my if even if
I
there
don't
is a
know.
great,
I don't know. I think
I
there
don't
is
think he
because when he's leaving his mom, he's like, I might not see you for a while. He could like that kind of implies that eventually, some way he might not go back, but at least will be able to maybe somehow jump in between.
I feel like this episode was him like leaving that.
I thought the way I looked at it was he was tying off loose ends that he regretted.
Yeah.
This was.
I said
him, like,
I really
tying up
enjoyed
things
this.
he
I
regretted.
really enjoyed it because it actually gave you a backstory about him. Like I said before, like though we had finished the whole season and all we knew about him was that he was a teenage boy, you know, kind of insecure,
He's like, "Shut
and
up."
boof, he's there. Like I said,
Now we
like
know
I
why
really
he's
enjoyed.
good at throwing hands as well. His dad.
Yeah.
His dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
I also
No,
Like I
I-
said,
I'm
I really
not
liked it.
gonna
And I
lie.
think it was needed because, like I said, I wish they would have sprinkled a little more because, like I said, at the end of season 1, all we really got about him and Amelia was Amelia kind of looks like the bad guy. Was in a forest. Subaru kind of just spawned in. He's the main character. Like I said, that's why I think I enjoyed the movie and this episode. That's why I think the movie was really good. I do agree that possibly could have been shorter. I feel like it could have been brought down to like 40
2
minutes, maybe even
episodes.
50. Like I said, but other than that, like I said,
2 episodes.
this is where I really became hooked, and I was like,
No, yeah,
'Cause
this
this is
for
like-
me
this
as well
was-
was when I locked it. I thought the pea scene was so cute. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that shit was so cute. And bro, this shit like it was enough to make a grown man cry. I'm not gonna. I thought this episode was so cute, and it just hurt. It just kind of hurt.
it was
Oh,
around
at
this
least for
time
me.
that I realized, where is Puck?
He wasn't gonna play with.
He did say take care of Amelia when Rem was sleeping. I mean,
Yeah,
she was
but
always
he just-
sleeping, but
He disappeared completely.
I, for some reason, I think it might have to do with that oath we might be talking about. Maybe.
It could also be something with the barrier.
Maybe it's the barrier as well. Like, you just got your shit handed to you. Yeah, but I fucking love this episode. I'm not gonna. This episode. Is there anything else you guys want to say on this? I feel like we got the main points.
I just have a quick question. I'm not gonna lie.
It was good.
Like, are his parents just like did he just like after he left, like, did his parents ever like what happens with that? Like, do they know like he's just like gone?
They were.
That's what I was saying. Like I don't know what's
No,
going on
these
back
weren't
there.
his real parents. They were fake.
No,
They-
no,
they
no,
were-
yeah, but no, yeah, I know that, but like his actual parents, like he like just abruptly left Earth to like with no contact with them, like.
And
do
if
they-
anything, it was nighttime too.
It was.
Yeah,
I think
like-
they think he got killed because I think they think he's dead.
Yeah, kidnapped, killed, or something.
I think they think he's dead. I think that was the only possible like explanation. Your
I
son
feel like
leaves.
a quick flashback to the real world before would be kind of funny. But like, oh,
Funny? I think
He's
that's
not home.
depressing as fuck. I don't want to see that.
well, no, I'm thinking like something like casual and funny, like the dad walking into the room, and be like, oh, it's not home. Hey, it's probably at school or something.
No, that would not be that, bro. I'm telling you,
It's probably at school or
that shit
something.
would be so sad. I don't like if his dad like bust into his room the day after and like was sad because he wasn't there. That shit would have fucking. I don't know that would be. I do not want to. So that's all I'm saying. Oh wait, what?
What?
Wait,
Okay, so the next episode, it starts off with Subaru. He passed the first trial. Oh, yeah, and the Echidna was like in his classroom. Like she had to see her to like pass her trial or some shit. He passed the first trial. Amelia fails it. She's just like all fucking traumatized and shit. They go back to the fucking cabin, and Roswell asks to talk to Subaru. There, he reveals that he's kind of orchestrated everything. He knew everything was gonna happen, but he didn't interfere because he wanted Amelia and him to gain recognition.
which I feel like in the moment you can be like, oh my god, how could he? But at the same time, it kind of was a smart tactic, you know.
Yeah, like,
He let it play out because he knew, and like he said, he did have faith in them. It is kind of fucked up that he kind of just let a lot of people die. But at the same time, I think he was just looking at the bigger picture, you know? He's looking ahead. You know, he's not thinking about, like, now. He's thinking about, okay, how will this affect the future, and what's the best possible solution for the future? So I'm kind of on his side. I still think it's kind of a jerk move, kind of a bad move, you know?
Wait, which one?
I think
I don't know if I can say I'm on his side, but I do think I kind of see where you're
I
coming from. Because, like,
understand it's really
if you
fun.
have the. How do we get eliminated? What?
Someone died.
I think if you have the power to stop something and you don't do it, I think you have to have some accountability. But I guess if you look at the bigger picture, maybe he has a goal. But now I do think he has some. He doesn't want to make Amelia. What am I trying to say? I don't think his goal is to make Amelia the rule. I think he has a bigger goal that he needs Amelia. That's kind of what I took from this.
He did say he
Or
wants to
at least
kill
what
the
I think.
dragon. That
Huh?
one episode.
He does, yeah, he did say he want to kill a dragon. But
You know about that. You know what I've thought about a couple times is this whole thing about the dragon and the contract and all this and that. I wonder, like, if it's all kind of like an orchestrated plan. Like the dragon doesn't have anything to do with it, and it was just kind of a story fixated by like the royal family to keep kind of like a hierarchy so that only certain people and certain candidates are able to like take rulership, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because at the same time, it's like, oh, everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's a dragon. Like no one really questions it. And I feel like that's like a big thing about everything is that no one questions anything. You know, they hear someone with silver hair and purple eyes and like, oh, automatic wish. Like, don't need to think twice. Automatically, like, boom. Like, I'm like, dang, like, and I think that's what makes like kind of makes Subaru fit in is that because he wasn't born there and kind of just got dropped in, his perception of everything is kind of off. So to him, it's just like, oh, it's just another person. But to everyone else, it's like they immediately stereotype, and that's like another thing. I was like, you would think that among all the people, at least one or two people would try to question like the ideals. Like if everyone in your entire world told everyone the exact same thing, like, or maybe they just been silenced. You know, like the government doesn't want them to know. You know, government.
Government.
Do they have a government?
We've seen
I
a lot
assume
of
they do, but it's more like
haven't
it's more like a
seen
monarch,
that.
no?
Like same thing with like the royals and like the five old people. Like no one's ever questioned them.
Guys, I'm first.
I don't know. Like I said, I feel like the dragon is gonna end up being some weird like there was no dragon. It was all just an illusion. Maybe there's a dragon. I don't know. I
think
just
there
feel
is a
like
dragon.
I mean,
I don't know because I keep
ride. Isn't that dragon?
I don't know.
Dragon. Imagine the dragon ends up being super.
Well, my whole thing is also this. Everyone like sees the dragon as like all the times I've heard the dragon, they've talked negative about it. I feel like if it's not that like the dragon doesn't exist, it's gonna be something that like the dragon is actually like
They're friends
the
who get
one
along with it.
suffering,
Oh,
is the one actually suffering, or is actually like is the one with good intentions, but the people kind of like enslaved slash trapped it and then gave it like a bad name so that no one would be able to help it. Because I feel like if you give it a bad name, then everyone's just gonna assume that's it's leads with negative consequences, and no one's gonna want to help it. Same thing with like Amelia and the witch. Everyone's assumed that because of her appearance, she's a witch, so no one wants to associate with her. Period.
for me,
So I kind of feel like it's fear mongering. Boom. Smart
For me,
fear mongering.
I just feel like you kind of had to believe with what the characters are telling you, because we just haven't been introduced to the dragon at all. Like we genuinely know nothing. So I feel like you kind of have to.
Witches at this point, but like, nah, the dragon is enough.
Oh, but the same thing happened with
I
the
feel like
witches
you
though.
kinda
We
have to
were
take the
told that
risk.
all these witches are bad, all this and that, and then you meet like five of them. You're like, oh, these are just quirky people.
I still don't trust, bro. I'm telling you, they're not just quirky. I feel like there's something like
Did they say they all have like a sin that they did, like some sort of
they all have a sin, and I just think that there's not just gonna be we're just quirky people who are misunderstood. I feel like it's gonna be more like I don't know. I kind of get where you're coming from, but I don't think it's gonna.
I feel like if anything, it's gonna be of like they're in the predicament they are because they made a decision, like a bad decision, and I think at the end of the day, in order to repent for that decision, they're kind of like helping Subaru out. Maybe
It
not
might
by
be,
choice, but
maybe.
kind of because they're bound. Because like I said, they're all dead. They're basically just spirits, and at the end of the day, the only one that they've actually able to contact regularly has been Subaru. So maybe like like I said, it's that they all committed a sin, and like for now they're like eternally bound to like certain areas or certain things, and that they just kind of have to help or punish those who come across them. Because even the little one, I can't remember what her name was.
The
She was like,
pride one.
she's like, oh, you feel like you've sinned, which is why like you're all discombobulated. She's like, but in reality, you haven't. It's like
haven't.
it's just the way you feel. So I don't know. I still think that the wishes aren't bad. I think that the envy one obviously is, and I just feel like at the end, the envy one was the one who kind of like betrayed them and put them in the
Watch it be
situation they were.
backwards. They're all bad except her.
That's what I originally thought. I thought the Witch of Envy was gonna be the non-bad one.
We will
But I
get to
feel
that
like-
because Subaru said something that kind of threw me off. But we're kind of getting off track. What were you talking about? Roswell. He orchestrated everything,
Yeah.
so he knew everything was gonna happen.
I don't think he orchestrated. I think it's more to say that
No, he
He
said
was-
I orchestrated it.
he was. But I
orchestrated,
think
or
it's
he,
more of like
not
he was
intervene?
aware. Yeah, he knew what was gonna happen, but just watched from the sidelines.
Like I don't think he set up the witch's call. I think he knew about them, but didn't.
It's kind of like the scenario where they're like, "Don't come to school tomorrow," but you don't say anything. You
Oh,
know
so
what's
the
gonna happen.
So like,
But you're not
cool
saying
with the
anything.
shooter. So like, you're cool with the shooter.
I guess he
Uh,
saw the shooter's Instagram post. and
Yeah,
didn't
But
say
he
didn't
didn't
report it.
tell
He didn't
anybody.
report it.
Yeah, not his fault. I mean, it is his fault, but it's not. You know, it's like partly his fault.
As I think I can see why Subaru's mad because he lost Ren because of it. If he had done something, maybe Ren would. Fuck! Oh, maybe Ren would still.
Yeah, but like I said, at the same time, he wasn't like he was mad, but he wasn't too mad because he kind of knew
He
that like
understood. He understood.
he
where was
obviously,
coming.
like I said, obviously he didn't like summon the whale himself and be like,
Yeah.
go. It was just kind of like it happened. He did his own thing and did things that would benefit him.
'Cause, like,
Guys, I walked.
Like I
off.
said, he didn't say like, "Hey, bro, pull up to my crib at 9 o'clock."
And I guess 'cause, like overall, like he lost Rem, but he gained like Cruz as an ally. So I guess you
Is-
can
is-
see how like
And I feel like
that positive?
losing
Is that
Ram is like is a very vague term because I have a feeling that she's gonna come back. I doubt that she stays dead. I really doubt she stays dead. Even if she comes back, maybe like memory wiped, I feel like she's eventually gonna come back. I don't see any way where they
Guys,
kill
we
her off.
suck at this.
I think her still having like her body technically still being like alive means there's a chance she's coming back.
We didn't even talk about the Gluttony Archbishop. I fucking hated that guy. He was creepy as hell.
Yeah,
He's just
I didn't know.
he gave off.
But
I like rolling around in mud.
I feel like there's not much you can say. We know nothing about those two.
We saw like one
Nothing.
interaction. And that's it.
We know that one is the Archbishop of Greed, right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Greed and Gluttony.
Or
Which we're talking.
That's all.
The Witch of Greed right now, aren't we?
With the Echidna's the Witch of Greed,
Yeah.
and that's like all we know. That I think his name is Regulus. I think that's his name. I mean, I'm just making. He's the Archbishop of Greed, I believe, and the other guy was Gluttony. Wait, okay, let's go back. So after he talks to Roswell, they go back to the mansion, and this is confusing. Garfield tells him, "You do the witch trial instead." But in every other run after this one, he's opposed to it, and I don't I don't understand. But I guess we'll get to that later. They go back.
I mean,
and
but I feel like that's with every scenario. Like same thing. We've seen so many scenarios where he's cool with Rem and Rom, or another scenario where he's not. One scenario where they just go berserker. Like even if he goes all buttering up, you know, like I want to be your friend and all this. Like I feel like that. Like at the end of the day, it's like maybe in the first run he says something that like made him think differently, or in the second run he says something that made him more suspicious.
Second time,
And that's
he
like-
outright says it, like as soon as they get out of the trial.
And also, I feel like that's also kind of like crazy. Like how does this guy know way too much?
we didn't
Like
make it.
there's no possible way that he could have known this information. And I feel like also another thing is that when he like redoes like the same thing, it kind of like speed runs. So we don't know exactly like word for word or if he did something slightly wrong
I
or
think
different.
It was Otto who said that he looked a bit too calm during
Yeah, for the
fight.
situation he was in.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Well-
that would like takes him off. Like you're a bit too calm. You're a bit too eager to do like the challenge yourself, and you smell like the witch. So I think he has a reason to be suspicious. Like the second, third, and fourth time.
Well, I think this episode ends with Elsa killing him. No, isn't that how it ends?
Yeah.
She like,
He pulls back and
Yeah.
he's like, "Where's my Pookie Bear?" And then he just
and
gets.
then his gut is like, bro, that shit. Like, I thought it was shit at first, and then I realized
Okay.
it was his fucking his
That's wild.
his intestines. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like traumatized, bro. Imagine getting your
That's
fucking
crazy.
intestines like, bro. Imagine getting your stomach open and you're walking and your intestines are just
Yeah,
falling.
but
You don't
he's
even notice
been
it.
through it before. Like,
That's okay. Oh, okay, no, don't now bring this up. Just because he's been through it doesn't mean that's fine.
I generally think he forgot that she was gonna come back.
Just because he's been through it, I don't think it makes it fine. I think every time he dies is going to be equally as traumatizing as.
Yeah, I think.
And I think they make like a point to emphasize that as well. It just doesn't get easier for him, even though he knows he can return.
I guess the only thing that's easier is that he knows he'll return, but like that he feels
Yeah.
it like equally every time.
it's mentally easier, not physically.
Yeah.
I think it's the opposite. No, it's physically for him to return, but mentally it's harder for him to actually do it.
But I think compared to like season one, he's taking each like return a bit better than the last one.
He's not as traumatized anymore.
But he's still like taking a hit every time he comes back.
I agree.
Well, after he gets fucking killed by what's her name, Elsa again, he gets back to the beginning of the next trial, and here he immediately suggests to do the trial instead of Amelia, and they refuse, which is one of my points of confusion that I brought up. And then he goes to Roswell for
Early.
help, and he goes, oh yeah, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Roswell catches on to the fact that he says that he doesn't think the village elder will help him this time, and even Roswell was like this time, but he doesn't mention it. Did you guys catch that?
No.
No. So when they're talking, Subaru's like, I need you to make a deal with the elder and Garfield, but Garfield hates my guts, so I don't think he'll agree to make a deal with me this time. And then Roswell's like, this time, but then he doesn't bring it up. I think we'll just leave it at that because like it comes up in further episodes. But when they get to the I think Roswell arranges it and they go to the mansion. And when they get to the mansion, they discuss leaving with Frederica and what's the girl's name?
That one is.
The miner.
Okay, buddy. Oh,
Petra?
what's her name? Petra. They're like, hey, we should leave. And they all die. And they all die.
But not before
But bro,
she
the
turns
part
into
where,
a.
the part where Beatrice, no, the part where Subaru has Petra's hand in his eye was like, oh my fucking god.
But I love the part where she turned into a.
Into a cat.
Oh yeah, she does turn into a cat.
And then gets murked.
Yeah, she got murked.
Yeah,
Brian
yeah.
got murked as well,
She gets off screen.
And then he tried committing suicide.
and Petra got murked as well. We're not there yet, Figgy. Stop going ahead. Fuck you.
Now
And
there.
he's about to get killed,
And then
but Beatrice
saves
saves him. And this was the episode that I had the most questions. So it starts off with him being in the library, and like he's kind of like breaking down to Beatrice, like, why the fuck did you save me, and why didn't you save everything else? What the fuck? And then Beatrice is like, and then she says that like everything that she's done with him has been because of
because of the book.
the
The
book.
gospel.
And Subaru proceeds to get killed again. And what happens after that? I think after that he goes and tells him directly right before the first trial or some shit that, hey, I want to do the trial instead of Amelia. Fuck.
I think. Doesn't he get kidnapped first?
No, well, he gets kidnapped after he tells him that he wants to do a trial instead of Amelia.
No,
That's the
because
reason
I
he gets
think.
kidnapped.
No, because I think in one of the parts he ends up getting kidnapped, and once he frees, he's like, "Okay, I'm finally gonna go talk to Roswell and tell him what I'm supposed to." It's like no detours, no nothing. I'm gonna get my point across.
The reason he got kidnapped was because he went to the village elder and Garfield was like, let me do the trial instead. Amelia isn't ready for this. That's the reason he got kidnapped in the first place.
Yeah.
You-
I think
you don't
he
remember?
triggered them to.
Pretty sure the last time he went to go talk to
Well,
Roswell, he got
no,
him
you're
before.
wrong. You're wrong. The reason he's even in jail is because he went to talk to them directly. He was
Yeah.
like, I'll do the trial
Yeah,
instead.
Because
it,
that's
And
it
then
was
they
in the
catch
night.
him.
going to Roswell, and then
Yeah.
they lured him away.
He was gonna go to Roswell
He was, I
after
think
he
was
talked to
outside-
them.
I think it was outside his house. And then they like
No, it was like in a camp thing, no? It was like by a fire when he talked to them.
yeah, he's talking to a
They're like,
fire,
what are
but like
you?
before he was talking to them, he was like at Roswell's like hut, and just
He
like
was at his son, and then Garfield like leads him to a field, no?
yeah, he's like
Mhm.
come with me.
And then that's where he
Yeah,
gets
okay.
captured. That's how he gets captured.
But he doesn't
hadn't
talk
talked
to Roswell.
at that point.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, so what
That's
are
what
you
I was
saying?
saying. That's what I was saying. Is that he gets kidnapped before he talks to Roswell.
Oh, well, okay. Then
That's
we're
what
on
I
the
was
same
saying.
page. We're on the same page.
And you're like, no, you're wrong.
And Otto saves him at the end. By the way, Otto's becoming the goat in these last couple episodes.
My
But
God.
I have a lot of questions. First, the book that oh my god, the book that Beatrice has is different from the one he gave her from Betelgeuse, right?
Yeah,
Or is it the
Yeah.
same one?
It's
No, it's a
not
different one.
like the book. It just has like it
It
just follows
it looks
the, like,
similar,
of
Yeah.
but it's not Betelgeuse's book.
it's not
No.
like the witch's whole gospel. Like with what it is, it falls into the like category of a gospel, but it's not like the gospel that they're talking about.
Yeah, because Roswell mentions it later. And I also have another question. Did Beatrice purposely let Elsa in?
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know
When
if
she
she
kills
purposely
Subaru.
let her in. I just feel like
Beatrice was able to enter the library, and I thought that no one that Beatrice didn't want in or some shit.
Well, Subaru can go in.
I think it just goes back to the book and her saying that she just follows it. So maybe it was more of like the book didn't mention stopping her. So because it didn't mention stopping her or her having to interact, she was like, I'm just gonna stay in my library.
I don't know.
Because I feel like if she really needed to, she would have. And I feel like at that point in time, it's pretty obvious that stuff is going around. Because even like I forgot what it's called, the dog reappears. So like obviously she knew because she was able to pull Subaru out last minute. So it's more of like I think it's like she knew but chose not to interfere because if what she says is true that she only does stuff by the book probably most likely didn't say to intervene or probably even said don't intervene until
I think
don't
she's
inter-
strong
or-
enough to like fight her, at least some, but she didn't even. Like,
I think she's
Yeah.
lying about all her interactions with Subaru being by the book. Because at the end,
Good.
she was genuinely like about to cry. I
I
think
think
she
it's
low-key might
because
be lying.
at that point it's more of like she
Wait,
follows
we're
this
teammates,
book
we're teammates.
like she follows this book and it's basically kind of like her life and at the end of the day she's finally like questioning her morals and values. She's like maybe I don't have to follow it step by step. Maybe
Oh
there
my
might be some
God.
like there might be like a white line or like a thin line in between, you know? 'Cause I feel like now she's more of like questioning herself and I think it's more of like she's telling herself, why am I questioning myself? Like am I really questioning myself over this person? Like is this guy like why is he
yeah,
making me
I
why
think
is
I
he
do
making
agree
me
with that.
question myself? So I think that's why she's kind of like, should I disobey the book? Should I? What's good and bad? She's like, and I think it's more of like, snap out of it. Like, what the like, what are you doing? Like, come on. That's why. That's why I'm wondering if the book probably said like, don't intervene, but like, she probably was like, I wouldn't be able to let this out if I let him die. So she was like, I'm just gonna open this door.
I'm just gonna open.
And if he magically manages to walk
We
in
won?
at the perfect
We won.
timing,
Holy
That's
shit,
crazy.
I contributed nothing, but. Alright, well, after he meets with Beatrice, that's when he goes to talk to Garfield and the Elder. And that's when they kidnap him. And then Otto rescues. Otto's a goat, and he rescues him from the prison cell. I think that's where that episode ends, right? They're like escaping the prison cell.
It is called like the friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that scene was so funny. I thought it was funny at least when Otto was like, "You're my friend," right? Subaru was like, "Friend, me?" I thought that scene was funny. No, but I fucking love Otto, bro.
He's like he did like an Eric, where like he used his words to say something else. He's like, oh, he's like, "You're my
Also,
friend,
I know
aren't
it's
you?" He's
not me.
like, aren't you? I don't know, and aren't you?
Who does Otto sound like? He sounds like another character, but I couldn't pinpoint it.
I watched
Cause
it.
his
I
His
thought he was
voice-
fucked for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
He sounds like someone I've heard before. And I can't remember if it's like another popular anime or if it's just another character, just in a slightly tone. But I feel like he sounds like another character.
I will say
I'm
he
sorry,
made
to
me.
clear it up, I think his voice actor in the dub is Tanjiro.
I can see that now. Kind of makes more sense. Because I'm listening to him and I'm like, he sounds really familiar. Like I feel like he's some sort of other popular character. But that's just a side thing.
I did
Oh,
feel
God.
bad for doubting him, because I thought he was gonna take the money. But then after he saved Subaru, I was like, my bad for ever even doubting you.
I don't know. He kind of seems like someone who would be too scared and would be like, if he were to do something bad like that, it would like haunt him for the rest of he would be like terrified, always looking over
Let's
his shoulder.
not
Like,
forget he threw Subaru off the fucking carriage when it was.
He didn't know Subaru, and he.
I think at this point it's because he knows Subaru. He considers him a friend. But I think if like if it was like early auto, he would have taken that deal without hesitation, like without hesitation.
Yeah, 'cause it's
But I
like
think
a
it is because he
double-
knows Subaru at this point.
I don't know. I don't know. When I see Otto, I kind of see him as like more like a skittish, worried type of person. Like even when the guy was stalking him, he was just like he was gonna kill me.
I mean, what would you do? Gambling time. The next episode.
No,
Should we go on to the next episode?
I just want to say Otto is like growing
He's grown on me since the fucking part where like him and Amelia are in the back of the carriage, and then he just opens the window. He's like, "Did you guys call for me?" Just since that part, he's been growing. I think every scene with Otto's mostly funny. I love
like
Otto.
a gag character.
Yeah, I guess he kind of is. Yeah. After that, I think the next episode they leave the prison, and he talks to Roswell and asks if Beatrice is a cultist, or is that am I? Wait, let me see.
Holy
No, it doesn't.
Otto's
He has-
voice actor is in Persona 3 Reload.
What the fuck? Who is he?
What?
It's just his additional voices.
Just a random voice.
Persona 4 Tactica.
He asks if he's a cultist, and he says no, and tells him to form a contract with her. Garfield finds them as they try to escape, and he fucking murks Otto. Again, further establishing him as the GOAT. He sacrificed his life for Subaru. And
I also
first-
find it. I get that like he's a guy, and what's the other girl? The yellow-haired girl.
Erika?
Federica, yeah.
That they're both like. I get that he's more like Beast, but those transformations were completely different.
I
like,
mean,
she was
she's
just
only,
like a reg-
25.
That's what I
He's
said.
50.
She was.
Yeah, oh, she is.
I was like, but the
They're, like,
difference was really though. She was just like a normal like leopard. Him was like a giant enraged aura-filled tiger.
I
Like
guess it may also have to do
25%.
Maybe he's just stronger.
that's
than
what I was
her
saying.
as well.
I was like maybe is that he's a guy, but he's also younger though.
He is. That's what I.
But that's crazy.
I just think it
That's
has to do
crazy.
with the blood. I don't think it's because he's a
Yeah,
guy or
I think
he's
it
younger. I
is.
just think it's because he's double beast what she is.
He's a half-blood and she's court.
But she wasn't even that. She was kind
By
of
the
like
way, does this mean that a random human just fucked the tiger, or like is it like
What?
I think that's.
that's what
No,
it means,
no,
right?
No, that's not what that means.
Bro, what else does it mean?
What? No, it's his dad was full
So
blood.
his dad fucked a tiger.
No, that's not. That's too. I don't think.
Explain it. Explain it to me. Because I would have assumed that demi-human was like the human version of Beast. So does that mean that he fucked a tiger?
Oh, it's like the
Bestiality's
wolf,
canon?
like the wolf. No.
They're in like village. They're secluded. They're like away from everyone else because it's probably like frowned upon. To be like half human, half beast.
I think he fucked a tiger.
I said, I did
genuinely
mention
think he fucked a
how
tiger.
people who aren't full blood are looked as different or outcasts. So maybe because they're fucking animals, kind of like, hey, get the fuck out of here. We don't want animal fuckers.
Yeah, but I do think the reason that the size is just because
What?
he's double beast of what she is. Before he dies though, I think this might have been one of the worst deaths. He gets teleported, and he gets eaten alive by rabbits.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I want to hear the.
That was That was
I
brutal.
had knowledge of this scene before it happened. Did any
I
of you guys
didn't.
have knowledge of this scene
No.
before it
I knew
happened?
about the
No.
bruise.
I low-key thought that like he like genuinely passed out for like a really long time and
That
like
he like hibernated.
yeah, but
Yeah.
then he just started being like I'm not gonna lie, that was probably like of all the scenes that was probably the most disturbing one I've seen. I was like, oh my god. And when I saw the horns, I was like, holy cow, are they like demon bunnies? Like what the fuck? They kind of look like Ram's horn, like, cause of pink. I was like, what the hell is going on?
No, yeah, like
Remember the
I know this
fatigue?
scene was coming, and even then, it was kind of like. That's why I want to hear like, cause as you said, like I think this was the worst death so far.
I think it's contender for worst death. Because what?
I think it might be because even when he got decapitated, that was just decapitation. When he got frozen to death, I think that one might have been pretty bad. Getting frozen to death,
But this
or
one
getting your
was a lot slower.
or getting your intestines pulled out. I think getting intestines pulled out and the bunny one was the worst.
I think
That's
the
my
bunny's worse because it's full body. Intestines can like centralize.
Yeah.
And you're alive and you're feeling that shit. Whoa! Ah! After he dies, he gets teleported to Oh wait, I lost my track. He has another tea party.
Another tea party.
He has another tea
Yeah.
party with the
That's
kid
when
now.
he starts to tweak out.
This is when he starts to tweak
Maybe
out.
they fulfilled some requirement for the tea party.
Cause he dies and then he like starts smashing his head against the floor, and he gets teleported to Echidna, and there we find out that she knows that he can return by.
Oh, I don't think she knew. I think, well, he tells her, and then she's like, oh.
No, she literally says,
okay.
"I've
I
been
think
watching
she
you
knew.
this whole time."
Not intervening. Watch
She
it.
said, "I know. I've been
Oh.
watching you this
Yeah,
entire
she can't
time."
really- She can't really intervene since she's like,
She's fucking dead.
she's dead.
Yeah, she's fucking dead. But we find out that she knew this entire time, and we see Super just completely break down because he hadn't been able to talk to anybody. You guys are still in the
About
game.
it.
We made a new one.
Wait, what?
Where are you?
We made
I'm
it.
in the lobby.
Why are you in the lobby?
Because I thought we lost.
No, we qualified.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Since I died, I thought. Fuck. Well, we find out that Echidna knows, and then, like, I think he's making a mistake. I feel like he's putting way too much trust in her, as I said. And I feel like part of the reason he's putting so much trust in her is because he finally has someone to talk to it about. I'm not as, like, I don't see the witches in as much optimism as Figgy is seeing them right now. I still don't trust them. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I still don't trust them.
Yeah. I think it seems like she has an ulterior
their
motive.
designs, like a lot.
They are unique. I think that's how this episode ends, no? Her finding out that, well, him finding out that she knew.
I think it is.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Because the second one, last one ends with the
He
witch.
meets up with the witches. So like the next one starts off with him meeting up with like the witch of Pride, and she like grips his arm off.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How are you gonna go on her? The one thing she says is, "Don't touch her."
To be fair,
First thing
she
he
said,
does
"Don't
at
touch the
10
witch of envy," not the witch of Pride. She said, "Don't touch the witch of envy." I don't know if he knew that wasn't the witch of envy, but I guess, like, yeah, she said don't touch him, and first thing he did was touch her. But then he meets... The one that heals him is Wrath, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of, like, counter-intuitive? Isn't that, like, kind of what she goes against? She healed him, but she's, like, Wrath.
Whoa.
I don't know, that's one question I had when I watched this. Aren't you, like, the one that, like, does war, like, kills people while you're healing him? And then...
Love is war.
This war. And then he meets the witch of Glendy and asks her how to fucking
Kill the bunnies.
kill the bunnies. And this is why I think Echidna's not good. As soon as he made a contract with to not forget her, the witch of envy attacks. I think she knew. And even Subaru was like, did she know this would happen? I think that she has ulterior motives in friendly with. I don't think she's doing it out of the goodness of her heart. I think she has ulterior motives. I think everyone has ulterior motives.
Everyone has some sort of.
Everyone has ulterior motives.
Upset or go auto. He's a
But
friend.
they get attacked by the Witch of Envy, and this was it. Just kind of confirmed everything we knew. At the end of the episode, Roswell pulls out a gospel, a witch's gospel, and he
Yep.
says, "If you wish to walk through hell, I shall accompany you." And then he says, like, "Subaru, I know you will not make the same mistake next time." He knows. I don't know how he knows.
I don't know if he knows. Speculates because here's something that I've wondered. Obviously, the Witch of Envy gave him this power, so I'm assuming that she's given this power to multiple people. Because I don't think this is the first rodeo. Because, like I said, we've seen multiple times that she has killed him or done stuff, like exactly when he got possessed, multiple times to specifically kill him so that he does stuff right. So I'm assuming it's happened before, and I'm assuming Roswell probably knows of it. So I don't know if he knows. I think it's more of he's speculating, and it's more of like, okay, this guy, you know, the way he acts, the stuff he knows stuff that he shouldn't know.
All I'm saying,
He's
Roswell's
asking
way
the right
stronger than
questions.
he's letting on. I think we
but
can
I
confirm
think-
that at
I
this
think-
point. Roswell
yeah, I
is
also
way
think he's way
stronger
smarter,
than
though.
he's letting. Yes.
Because, like I said, I don't think it's that he knows. I think it's just that he's put all the points together.
I went from hating Roswell to him being one of the most interesting characters now. I genuinely want to know more about him.
I think he's good at heart, but he's doing it to where it benefits him. You know, I don't think he'll do something to like end all destruction, rule the country, make it enslaved. But I feel like he's looking out for himself and then putting the gooder like second. You know, it's like I'm first, and then I guess good is second. You know, because that's how I see him.
So you're saying that you don't think he knows?
I don't think he knows.
I said I think he knows, but I think it's more of he knows by speculation.
He literally said, "Subaru, don't make the same mistake next time." How does he know there'll be a next time?
I think
I
already
think he
knows about his
genuinely
ability.
knows.
Yeah.
Or I guess
Also, his
you would
gospel
piece it together.
isn't like one of the normal gospels, though, right? You said it's separate
He
from
says
that.
he's something about like only Beatrice having like the real
Yeah.
gospel. Everything else is a satellite.
I think
knockoff.
he said it's one of two authentic ones.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one. I didn't catch that.
Which is why I think
Yeah, I did
it's
catch
not a
that.
witch's gospel, but something like
But-
Beatrice's.
I wonder
Which
who
is
he
why
was
he gave
talking
it the
about
name
when
of
he's-
gospel, because it doesn't have an official name because there's only two of them.
Yeah.
But I wonder who he was talking or referring to when he's like, "If you wish to walk through hell, I'll accompany you." Was it Subaru, or was it a witch?
We'll find
Because
out.
he literally says, "So like this is the route you've taken. If you wish to walk through hell, I shall accompany you." So at first I thought it was Subaru, but now I don't know.
Could
Huh?
be to the witch. How like she just like appeared out of nowhere. Like, so this is what.
So because that was my question. Was like, is he talking about the witch?
Well, I think
And
now that you
Envy
mention
or
it, I
Subaru?
think it's more of like maybe he has had history in the past with
Damn.
witches, and he probably never thought that they would return because of like probably what happened previously. So I think he's kind of referring them to like, oh, so you chose to show yourself again. Is like, I guess like if that's what you're aiming for, you know, I guess here we go.
Because wasn't it his ancestors that made that area they're in right now?
His ancestors made it. They like I think he said like they've been
Witch.
they've been watching it. Yeah.
So like I said, I wonder if he has history with it, and it's more of like a
No, he has.
He didn't-
history. He has it.
he doesn't know or probably wasn't expecting her to show herself that early or quickly, and it's kind of like more thinking, oh, I guess round two or whatever happened previously. I don't really know what happened last time she showed up.
I doubt he was alive for then.
No.
I don't know. Age kind of works a little like people live longer.
I don't know. I can't help but think he maybe was talking to Super because, or like at least I don't know, bro. Like genuinely, as I said, Roswell from one of my I fucking hated him. I thought he was like a perv and a creep. I want to know more about him. I genuinely want to know more about him.
Hisoka bias.
The
Hisoka.
Hisoka, he does look like Hisoka, but I think he's damn. I think he's one of the most interesting characters. I think he knows, but I wouldn't. But like,
I think he's just.
Wouldn't that mean
I
that
think
he's also not from this world? If he knows.
I have a
'Cause
question
everyone
though.
from this,
In order
or, like,
to
he's
do
a
the
witch, 'cause
trial,
the witch is.
in order to do the trial, you have to be. You can't be full blood, correct?
I think that was.
I think you can
If
adapt
that
it if
is
you're half
true,
blood.
if that's
Yeah,
true,
Roswell.
Roswell he attempted it, which means he's not fully human either.
He
Because
did.
that's why he was so messed up. Because he attempted it and he failed. Which means he's probably. And now that you mention it, he does have pointy.
You lied.
He has pointy ears.
Oh. Subaru was able to do it because a kid made him drink her body fluids, right?
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah.
what they say, that he was able to do it because of that.
I think.
I don't know. I just want to find out more about Roswell. I think he's like these 9 episodes alone have made him one of the most interesting characters in the series. I think he's either not from this world or like has like a big ass connection to the witches, because the witches aren't affected by return by death. They're like aware it's happening.
Yeah.
But I guess that also explains why he has such big faith in him, because even he was like, Subaru was like, why did you take this gamble on me even if you didn't know I was gonna be able to do it? He was like, well, you return by death, motherfucker. You can try as many times as it takes.
Yeah, which I don't think he wants Subaru to know that he knows, but
Or that
some
maybe he doesn't know, but he knows something's up. I
think he's connecting the dots.
But like,
Because I feel like
okay,
at the
but
same time, if you're someone like Roswell,
this
like
is
I
my
think
only
you
thing.
have to
This
take
is my
into
only
question like why he like again.
If
Why does he know the stuff he know? Why is he asking? Because if you look at Subaru on the surface, he doesn't seem like the type of guy who's very smart, very intuitive, someone who's gonna look at the deeper meanings and look at the nooks and crannies to find these very like hard to find details. So when you have this guy who's kind of like an airhead, asking very
get
specific
everything
questions
right
to
on the
get
first
very
try.
specific
Get everything
answers.
try on the first.
Like the fact that he knew to ask about Beatrice and the cult, like how would anyone even like suspect that? Because Beatrice usually to herself, and he knows for a fact that Beatrice isn't going to tell him. So how did he even get to that speculation?
I guess that goes back to how he did mention when Subaru said like, "Oh, Garfield won't accept my thing again." Right? Like he did take that into consideration as well.
Like I said, Roswell is very smart. Like I said, we saw that when he planned when he knew and figured out about the invasion, but decided not to do anything. So we know that he's very perceptive. So, like I said, he might not know directly, but I think, like I said, he's putting the plots together.
And also, yeah, I that like in like the real timeline, or like in the real sequence of events, Subaru just gets everything right on the first time. He's starting to think like, well, he's either lived through this or like he can see the future. Maybe he doesn't know it's exactly returned by death, but maybe he has an idea that like
He has some sort of weird power that's letting him inside.
yeah.
Some power that's giving him knowledge that he's not supposed to have.
I think
Or
that may
that
be
he
the
does
more
that
like
he shouldn't have.
I think maybe that was the more. But he knows something's up with Subaru. He knows that like
Subaru will go crazy as like a
Subaru will
trader.
tweak out randomly. Wait, what? I think we're talking about it.
Subaru would be crazy as like a stock trader.
I'll-
The inside trading will go crazy.
That's what you think about,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
bro. We suck ass.
Dude,
I made it. What you mean?
I made it.
I think the next episode's the last one, no?
It is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
oh, how does this? It starts with it starts with the witch
witch of
attacking them, and the witch just keeps repeating, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And then she
That's
starts
what makes
tweaking
me
out.
feel like she has some sort of like connection with Amelia, because I feel like deep down inside, even though she's kind of friend zoning him, I think deep down inside she actually does like really like him.
I think it's obvious something that likes him. And then she gets pissed when he says, "I'd rather date a kidna than you." That's when she kills him. that's when she kills him.
That's why I said I think
But
she has some like there is a
the
clear
reason
connection.
the reason I said that, I think if any of the witches are quote unquote good, I don't think any of them are. I think it might be Satella. Doesn't he say, "I will save you"? or did he mean to like Amelia in like a figurative sense? Because he
I
takes
think
off.
wipes
He
her
takes off.
tears.
Huh?
He wipes Satel's ears when she was crying.
He
Like, as
he
was
wipes her
dying.
ears with his blood, and he's like, "I will save you."
Yeah.
That kind of confused me because I'm like, does he mean Satella or does he mean like Amelia in like a figurative sense?
Maybe
I guess
both.
only time will tell. Maybe both. Maybe Satella and Amelia are the same person.
I
Who
look.
the fuck
That's what I was
knows?
saying. I feel like, what if like Amelia is just her
What if
reincarnated without the
ReZero
memories?
is a loop, and Subaru's job this time is to make sure Amelia is a good witch instead of ending up as Satella? Who knows?
I don't know. I still. I think it's very.
I'm talking shit.
I think it's very obvious that like Amelia had a life before and her memories were wiped. So I feel like something happened between her and the Witch of Envy, and eventually like led her to like getting her memory. Or I don't know if it
Was
was
the
some
Witch
sort
of
of
Envy
fight.
her
Like
mom?
maybe that's what I was thinking, but I feel like that'd be a little too
No, but
obvious.
like, I think the Witch of Envy's been dead for a while.
Is
Yeah,
she-
well, that's what I'm
Amelia did
thinking. I
get
wonder
frozen.
if she's
she
like
was
the
frozen for a while.
I don't know. Have any of you guys seen
And she does use
no, this is
phrases that
gonna
are
be
out
cri-
of date. Even Subaru mentioned. Maybe
that
This
could
is-
be
this
a
is-
gag. I feel
this is
like
gonna be a very like
maybe it's just a guy. I'm
this
just
is
saying.
something-
If we want deeper,
this is something that I like kind of put together, but I don't know if any of you guys have watched the most recent series of JoJo,
I
but
have not.
in that there's a character named Weather Forecast, and like his past life, like this man was like a maniac. He was a maniac, you know. He like killed. He was evil, and Lobro was like so dangerous that they just like erased his memory, so he'd be like a nice, calm, non-lethal
doesn't
thing.
that happen in Dragon Ball?
I don't know.
No?
But I'm just thinking, I
yeah.
wonder if that's like the same situation. That in like Amelia's past life, she was like very, very like evil. And in order to like stop her, the only way was just to like freeze her and wipe her memory. That's like the one thing I was contrasting. Because like I said, we have this character, like I said in JoJo, same thing. Terrible person, like absolutely like gives no care in the world, will like murk you on sight. And the only way to do it without killing him was just to delete his memory.
I guess that makes
So I'm
sense,
wondering if
because,
it's something similar.
when she was
Because I
like,
don't
in
know
the
if you
movie-
pay attention
in the movie
when he was like
Holy
when he was
shit.
speaking.
What did you were talking at the same time? Hold on.
My bad. Like I said, when he was speaking, it focused on his eyes. They have the same, very same eyes.
Alright, what were you trying to say, Mario?
in the movie, when she gets unfrozen, does she like forget like her name even? Doesn't Puck have to like remind her?
Don't remember
I
that,
can't tell.
actually.
I don't remember that. I couldn't tell you. I know that she calls Puck her dad. But I
Yeah, that's
don't know
later
about
on.
that part.
That's later on.
That's later on. Maybe I'm actually not sure. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I don't know. So Tella is I don't know what's up with her right now. But then after that, what happens after that? Subaru goes to, like this weird ass temple, and like he uses guys. he uses the keystone he got to like unlock the temple, and that's when they find out that wait, this isn't my team. Wait, it is my team. You guys are idiots. Oh my god. I'm just gonna stand here. And then he finds out that the Elder and like every other fucking pink lady is like failed clone attempts of like Echidna, that Echidna was trying to like.
That high's wrong.
Is that it? Let's go. That Echidna was trying to make herself immortal by making the clones of her and transferring knowledge, but I think it failed. I think Figgy's dead. Oh, never mind. But like it failed. What else happens in this episode? He goes back. Did you guys understand the part where with Garfield when he attacks him and then he just stops? I didn't.
He was testing him, I think. That's what.
That I'm so confused.
Really?
Part.
I
Yeah, he
think
said,
he just
"I was
didn't like him
testing you."
because he's kind of. I feel like he didn't like him because it was, I don't know, at the end I kind of feel like he kind of understood him because he was like, it's like, you don't know how this feels. You don't know how any of this feels. You don't know how it's going. He's like, I do. Little do you know,
That
I've been
reminds me
murdered 50 million
in
times.
season 1. Oh, the old guy did say he has the eyes of someone who's like seen
The eyes of
the
someone who's
battlefield
died.
or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
He said the eyes of someone who knows death. I think that's what he
Or
says.
has seen or has seen death
Some
or something.
shit like that. He does say he has the eyes. I don't know. That part just confused me. I was like, why the fuck did Garfield just like stop? I actually disagree. I think this was a big cliffhanger. It does set you up before, but I want to know what happens next because I thought this episode was like a setting up episode.
It was like a setup episode.
It was a setup episode. I think
Like I
that's
said, I think
Oh,
that was
so-
like a perfect way to stop because, like I said, we easily could have just said like episode 9 or episode 11 or episode 12. Like I think it was just a very good coincidence that when we decided it was just 10, just 10.
Okay, yeah,
10
but yeah, actually, okay.
ended at
Maybe
okay.
stopping on episode 9 or 8.
Would have been.
Okay, I guess I agree. Is that it? We've covered all the episodes.
Like I said, I like this more than season 1 in my
Oh wait,
opinion.
wait. Also, it ends with him going to the library and he talks to Beatrice, and she says that a contract is coming to an end, and she finds it ironic how it's him that breaks it. I don't know what you guys made of that, huh?
She did mention. Was that. What run was that?
What do you mean?
Like,
What?
when did she say that? Like,
In this run,
Yeah.
it was at the
It
end of
was
episode 35.
oh yeah, he does go inside, right?
He goes into the library and then he doesn't even say shit. And she's like, he's like, I think no, he doesn't. He's like, I'm here for a different reason than last time. Shit. And then she's like, a contract about the end of the end of the end. And she was like, I'll finally be able to break the contract. I just find it ironic it's you. And then she smiles and the episode ends. I don't know what the fuck it means. I guess we'll find out in the next one.
What contract? Like, why?
I guess we'll find out why she's bound to the library, or like if she had another contract before then, maybe.
So I'm assuming in the next episode he tells her what
Roswell told her, yeah.
Told him to tell her.
Yeah, but I mean that's the last thing that happened in this episode. I can't think of anything else we might have missed. The fucking little lady, oh, I forgot her name.
Petra?
The clones,
Petra?
no, the clones.
Oh, it's like
Arsa.
I mean, the girl was like
Ryuzo?
thousands of years
Ryuzo?
old. It actually
She
looks like
calls
she's 12.
him an arbiter of greed or some shit like that. Is that what they called him?
I think. Which I think was because he drank the tea.
Which, because he drank, and then he
Yeah.
finds out that Garfield also has connections to Echidna because he's also one of those as well,
yeah,
right?
like he deduces like if I'm
Yeah,
I'm
if
an arbiter
I-
because
yeah,
of
yeah,
this,
yeah.
then he must have.
Then he must have met the Witcher, or like at least consumed something of her as well. But I think that's everything that really happened in the so just so I think Satella was the big part of just like him saying he'll save her and her killing him. Oh, I also liked. Well, I don't know if I found it not funny, but like, did you guys catch how like when he saw Amelia after he died to Satella, he was kind of scared or like hesitant to like
yeah.
interact with because like in his mind, he was like, what if she is, and he was trying to like get rid of that like
That doubt.
notion. Yeah, he was trying to get rid of the doubt, but it was lingering. It was in his mind that she might be Satella, but I think that's really all that happened. So, is that what we're calling it a day?
That might be what we're calling it.
Figgy, say something dumb.
Skippity Sigma.